Hello. Nope, that's not it. Hi. This is a show. This is a show. This is the very first episode of a talk show that I'm making. I have something better than that. For real this time. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Growing Show. This is a show for all ages that is focused on learning and growth. I'm your host, Isabel, and I want to be here with you as we grow through things together. So here I am. I've noticed recently that a lot of my personal growing has come at the expense of other people. I do something and it hurts someone, or my lack of action causes someone else to feel unsupported or alone. And so I was thinking, what if there was a way where we could share stories in a way that we can learn from each other's mistakes too? My dream is that there are less instances where we learn at the expense of other people. And so I got this desk and am making a talk show now, and I hope you join me. If you want, there is no pressure. But if you do want to join me, I was thinking that every week or however many times I can get this video out that we could share a snack. So, drum roll. This week's snack is green grapes. So if you want to join me in this snack this week, I'm going to give you some time right now to go get some green grapes. And if you don't have green grapes, that's okay. You could get something else that's green, or you could get a different fruit, or you could get something in the shape of a circle. Okay, I will accept M&Ms. Those are circular. So go get them now if you want. And if you don't want, here's something to entertain you. Hey everybody, there are 2 skunks here. There were 3, and they are all living underneath that. Heads up, everyone. They're all under there right now. I've actually never seen skunks in the wild. And there's so many of them living in this pipe under the ditch. Oh, it's coming towards me! Oh, no, it's not. Oh, it's dancing. It's dancing. Oh, maybe they're pulling things out to make a nest. Oh, they're so smart. I forgot to tell Alfred that the show is starting. Alfred! Alfred, the show is starting! He's a plant and can't hear very well. So, welcome back. Now that we have our snack together, I thought that I could sing you the theme song that I came up with for the show. Even if you don't want to hear it, here it is. It's the Grow Show, the What Do You Know Show, the show dedicated to trying our best. Won't you join me and learn from our own lives and share with each other and care for each other? And learn to apologize. And it might hurt, but it is worth it at The Growing Show. It'll be better next week. I ordered a xylophone. So, anyways, I thought because this is the first episode and you haven't sent me anything yet because you don't know me, which makes sense, I thought that I could start from learning from one of my stories. So how are we going to do this? That's a great question. Very good. Thank you. And the answer is right here for me. And I have been writing in journals since I learned how to write. And this isn't all of them, but this is all the ones that I could find when I first went looking. And I thought that I could read some stories from here and begin to learn from my past, hoping that you do too. And then when you start sending things in to me, I can read your stories and we can talk about them together too. So, without further ado, I chose for this episode, the inaugural episode, to read from this journal. And this journal, I remember it very well because it was my first couple years of college. I'm not in college anymore, but I do remember the years fondly. Huge growing time. It really was. So today's learning journal comes from August 4th. That's not right. July 4th. The 4th of July. This is from the 4th of July. In 2018, I was an English major, so this shouldn't be that hard for me. In 2018, that was 4 years ago, I was 19. Yeah. Almost 20. Now we got that out of the way. Albert, listen up. I'm in the Northwoods alongside Lake Superior. That's in Minnesota. With my mom and my dad. Joe, that's my brother, stopped by for a couple of days. And now our friends are here with their family as well. My friends Tess and Isaac just got engaged, and they asked me to sing at their wedding. Today, as my mom and dad and I wandered on the rocks, I saw a small blonde girl with curls running about ahead of us. As we passed her, I heard her tell her mother, with much surprise, "A mini-waterfall!" And she was pointing at a small trickle of water that moved from the edge of the longish grass down to the lake. "Another one!" she cried as we moved beyond them. Then, at last, as we meandered farther from the little girl, I heard her give a final shout. I am so amazed. I am too, little girl. I am too. I remember writing this, even though it was 4 years ago now. That really rocked me to hear that little girl say, "I'm so amazed." Because it was something that was so small. It wasn't even a real waterfall. It was just rainwater, which in my aquatic ecology class we called non-point source pollution. And it was running from the watershed down into the Great Lakes. I live by the Great Lakes up north. And being surrounded by nature so regularly leads me to take a lot for granted. And so to hear that little girl who looked like me say, "I'm so amazed" at something that was so insignificant that I had missed it. Not only did I miss it, she gave it another name. She didn't call it non-point source pollution. She said, "A mini-waterfall," you know? And I think what I learned, and what I'm learning again now from my past self, is that it's worth it to be amazed. There's a Mary Oliver poem about this. I swear, I want to read it to you, so I'm gonna go find it. Sit tight. Okay, I found it. Am I a lapel mic? Okay. One of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver, she wrote something that this story reminded me of. She writes, "There are 3 instructions for a life. Pay attention, be astonished, and tell about it." Pay attention, be astonished, and tell about it. And so I think for the rest of this week, I'm really going to focus on paying attention and being astonished at the mini waterfalls of life. So that's how I think this is going to work, this show. I think that we can all learn from stories, and there are so many stories that we can share with each other to learn from. Today's I wanted to start with something that can be really universally felt. And I know that there are tons more like it out there. As hopeful as this one, maybe more painful, maybe more inspiring or sad even. I don't know what kind of stories this show will unearth, but I'm really excited about it. And I'm committed to being here as a space where we can share stories and grow together. I don't know what this show is going to become, and even if it doesn't become anything, I guess it's a journal, another journal that I can add to my stack. But I hope you do share your stories with me. And you can send them, of course, to an email that I made for the show, thegrowingshow@gmail.com. And I'll read your stories, and it might be a couple weeks before you start sending them in, but please send them. Send journal entries or pictures of journal entries or laundry lists or things off the cuff that happened to you, or a post-it note, or just something that you write down as you're thinking about it. I'll take it. And I can't wait to learn from you. And in the meantime, I will keep eating my grapes and learning from the things that I've written. Oh! Look at this. I have a mailbox! Oh! And you can send me letters. They would go to the email, but then I would print them, right? And I'd put them in there so I could open it on the show and pull out the letters that you send me, hopefully. So please, yeah, thegrowingshow@gmail.com. I can't wait to continue growing with you. Well, I'm Isabel, and I may not know much. Yeah. This has been The Growing Show.